Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. I missed you all. I know it has been a while, but I went through some stuff in my personal life and I didn't feel like uploading or editing or filming anything. So I'm really sorry. And I said to myself, what a better way to return than a big haul. So if you watched my last haul that I filmed, I think in August, like beginning August or end July, I mentioned that I'm going to go on a low buy until September. And I have to say that didn't go well, like at all. I bought more fragrances in that period than in any time of my life, period. So I have more than 30 fragrances. So I decided, just since like the weather already turned here, to skip the summer fragrances and leave them like in their boxes. So I am going to share with you more of transitional fragrances, like fall fragrances. Some are summer fragrances, but these are fragrances that I already used. So I just decided to include them and tell you my opinion about them. So if you want to see my new fall fragrances, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. I also do some makeup, skincare, lifestyle in general. So if this is your thing, then make sure to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. Let's start by the summer fragrances. I have only two, and both of them I already talked about in my most worn fragrances. Although they are new fragrances to my collection, I already used them a lot. The first one is here from Atelier Cologne. This is Love Osmanthus. This was a blind buy, but I immediately fell in love with it and I used it quite a lot. Such a beautiful fresh fragrance in the same vibe of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, of Love is Love from Moschino. So a very fresh, citrusy, almost has a watery quality to it. Very summer appropriate. It works beautifully in the summer. It's one of my favorites now. If I have to compare it with both Love is Love and Light Blue, I would definitely say I like this much more. It's, let's say it's less synthetic. It's not like this one smells really naturalistic, but it's less synthetic than Love is Love and Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. So in my opinion, if you love fragrances like Love is Love and Light Blue, you will also love this one. Or if you want something that is in the same vibe but a little bit less synthetic, then definitely check Love Osmanthus from Atelier Cologne. Next is Juliette Has a Gun, not a perfume, Superdose. This is the fragrance that I featured in testing hyped up niche fragrances and I fell in love with it. Such a beautiful scent. It's extremely difficult to describe. It's mostly Citralox, which is a kind of ambroxan. The only issue, as I said before, with this one is that sometimes I smell it on my skin and sometimes I don't. But definitely when you don't smell it, other people will. It's just, it gives the vibe of very clean, fresh, has a citrusy, woody touch to it, but not exactly. It's very difficult to describe. And I actually love ambroxan, so it's not a surprise that I also love this one. So that was Juliette Has a Gun, not a perfume, Superdose. Now I will just get out of the way two fragrances that I did a full review on. These are two new releases. The first one is L'Interdit Rouge from Givenchy. Oh, stunning fragrance, perfect for fall, has an amazing longevity and sillage. It's like you took the original L'Interdit Eau de Parfum and you make it darker and a little bit more sexy. Absolutely stunning. I will leave linked up here the video where I did a full review on this one. So if you are interested, then check that video. So that was L'Interdit Rouge. The next one is from the Kayali line. This is Invite Only Amber 23. This is a very hyped up fragrance for a reason. Again, I did a full review on it, which I will leave linked up here. This is like a date night fragrance. Also the Givenchy one, by the way, but this is like definitely the perfect date night fragrance. Very sexy, has a touch of gourmand. It's mostly cinnamon with tobacco, with amber, and a lot of cypriol. It has a touch also of cherries and chocolate and hazelnut, so Nutella. It seems like everybody has a different experience with this one. So some people get more the cherry and the chocolate. So I would say definitely test this one on skin. So that was Kayali Invite Only Amber 23. Now that we took these out of the way, let's start the real haul. So let's start by this one. This is Lalique Amethyst. This is blind buy, and I mainly bought this fragrance because I wanted to see if it's a real dupe of Meliora from Parfum de Marly. I already tested them side by side many times, and I will do a dedicated video going through everything. What I can tell you is that this is a fruity floral with a lot of berries. So if you love berries, I think this is one of the best like fruity fragrance that has a lot of berries on the market. So that was Lalique Amethyst. Again, stay tuned for that video where I go through everything regarding this fragrance and also Meliora. Next is another blind buy, but an extremely successful one. This is Prada La Femme Intense. This is such a beautiful fragrance. Beautiful. I definitely love this one more than Prada La Femme, the original one. It's such a beautiful feminine fragrance that is floral but a little bit sweet. It's very creamy, mostly white floral, but it's very creamy, very sophisticated. It's just amazing. It has an amazing performance. It remained on my skin the whole day. It's not exactly a beast mode fragrance, but it does project. People will smell you, especially if you overspray. And everyone I introduced this fragrance to loved it. So I don't know why nobody is talking about this one. I absolutely adore it. It's one of my best discoveries of 2021, I have to say. Totally in love with it. And I highly, highly recommend this fragrance. This is Prada La Femme Intense. Now let's move to the next one. This is Gucci Guilty Absolu Parfum. I know, another old fragrance. This is not a blind buy. I actually, when I bought Prada La Femme, they didn't have the testers. This is why it was a blind buy. I tested this one and I immediately fell in love with it. It's quite shocking because it's not exactly my type of fragrance. It's a woody rose experience, in my opinion. It's not a safe blind buy at all because of these woody notes that really shine, especially in the dry down. It has also a touch of sour and sour spiciness that I think comes from the pink pepper with the black currant. I really, really like it. Again, a perfect fragrance for fall. This dark side of the rose makes it extremely appropriate for fall. Has a very good performance, at least on my skin. It does project quite nicely. So to me, it's a win. So that was Gucci Guilty Absolu Parfum. Oh, I forgot to mention another summer fragrance here. This is from Bvlgari. This is Bvlgari Aqva Divina. I heard about this fragrance from Veronica, from Veronica Says. I will link her channel down below. Definitely check her out. She's amazing. And this one was a little bit difficult to find because I think this is discontinued. So that was again a blind buy. Look at the bottle. I love the bottle. The bottle is just amazing. Love it. So Bvlgari Aqva Divina. I wish I heard about this fragrance before, because this is like an amazing summer fragrance. It reminds me, not that they are similar fragrances, but it reminds me a lot of one of my absolute favorite summer fragrances that I bought this year, which is Eden Rock from Christian Dior. It has this minerally salty vibes that Eden Rock has, minus the jasmine. So imagine Eden Rock, if you are familiar with it, so this minerally fresh fragrance, and instead of the jasmine, you add magnolia, and you add also quince. So it's more of a fruity experience. The quince is beautiful here, like combined with the salt and the magnolia. It's an amazing fragrance, and it remained on my skin for I think 4 or 5 hours, which is amazing for a fresh fragrance. So definitely check out Aqva Divina from Bvlgari. An amazing, salty, fresh, fruity fragrance for the summer. Now let's move to Chloe. And it seems like I'm a little bit obsessed, because I have here all the Nomade fragrances. So I have the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, and the Absolu version. The only one that is a blind buy here is the Eau de Toilette, which I think from the notes at least seems to be like the summer one. So now that I have all 3 of them, I will definitely do a dedicated video on all 3. Here it is. Beautiful bottle, I have to say. I always liked the bottle. So Chloe Nomade is actually a recent obsession of mine. Love it. It's like a sweet oak moss. I don't know what the notes are, but to me it's a sweet oak moss with a floral touch. I don't remember exactly the Eau de Parfum, but I think it's sweeter than the Eau de Parfum. We will discover in a minute. A beautiful fragrance. It's really, really beautiful. And I love the bottle. I love the bottle. This is so beautiful. For now, I really, really like it. I'm not sure that I am going to wear it a lot, because as I said, it's more of a summer fragrance to me. So let's move to Nomade, Chloe Nomade Eau de Parfum. Here it is. It looks exactly the same like the Eau de Toilette. It's just the color of like the suede here is just a tiny little bit different. It's not so sweet like the Eau de Toilette. This is my first impression. Yeah, it's more mossy and earthy than the Eau de Toilette. It also has a fruity touch. And definitely there is citrus in the top. I think I have to spray this on my skin. Let's see. Okay, so there's something that I don't like now. It's a little bit sharp and has a medicinal touch. It's not what I remembered. Now I am getting the DNA of that I remember, at least from Chloe Nomade. Okay, I was worried for a second. I'm liking it more now, like in the dry now. So that was Chloe Nomade Eau de Parfum. The last one, the last one from the Chloe Nomade is Absolu de Parfum. This is my favorite bottle, I have to say, because there is like these studs here on the rim. And is a darker color, has a darker color. Yeah. So this is like the perfect fall fragrance, to me at least. It has this fall vibe to it that reminds me of like the brown, red, yellow leaves. The earth is a little bit damp. It has crushed leaves on it. This one has more of a woody experience than a mossy experience. So I think there is more sandalwood. I really, really like this fragrance. It's unique. And definitely I can smell the Mirabelle here is really predominant. So it's like this beautiful concoction of this mossy oak moss with sandalwood, woody touch, and a beautiful sweet and ripe Mirabelle. It's beautiful. This is definitely my favorite one from all the three. And this one I will definitely wear this fall. Again, I can tell you about longevity and sillage, about any of these three. I will wear them and I will definitely do a dedicated video comparing them. So that was Chloe Nomade Absolu. Now, next fragrance is definitely not a new one. This is one of the most hyped up from the brand, Elie Saab Le Parfum. Not a blind buy. I did test this fragrance out a lot of times, but a long time ago. And although I find it a very classy, beautiful fragrance, I was always bothered by the orange blossom, especially like with honey. It was a little bit too much for me. But recently I started to warm up to orange blossom in special fragrances, not all of them. They didn't have the tester in the store and I just bought it. I don't know why, but let's hope for the best. So this is Elie Saab Le Parfum. Of course, I got the small size. Okay, lots and lots of orange blossom. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful fragrance. It's one of the most classy fragrances on the market. Definitely is up there with a lot of Chanel fragrances when it comes to fragrances that scream class. I'm not a fan of orange blossom. I don't know why I bought it. I'm going to be really honest. I regret buying it. I don't know why did I do that. It's a beautiful fragrance, but it's just not for me. It's mostly orange blossom and honey to my nose. Since I have now this fragrance, I will definitely try it and see if I maybe will like it with time. I will give it a chance anyway, but definitely I would recommend this fragrance if you like orange blossom. If you are looking for a signature worthy fragrance, a classy fragrance, then definitely this is amazing. So yeah, anyway, this is Elie Saab Le Parfum. Next fragrance is another one that is going to be discontinued, or it is discontinued, at least to my knowledge, and this is Yves Saint Laurent Cinema. This is a hyped up fragrance. It's not a blind buy. Again, it's a fragrance that I tested a lot of times. I was really underwhelmed and I didn't understand the hype, but I found it like at an amazing price, and of course being discontinued was a trigger. As you all know, this is one of the things that, like, being a fragrance being discontinued is always a trigger for me, so I just bought it. So let's hope that I will change my mind about it. From what I remember, this is one of the fragrances that you can't judge by the opening, like, at all. It has, to my nose, an extremely different opening. The opening is quite citrusy, quite fresh, and the dry down is definitely something else. This is the bottle. Definitely the bottle is very, very beautiful. I really, really love it. See, it has quite a fresh opening that I actually like a lot. It's like a fresh vanilla in the opening with some floral touch. It's one of these fragrances that you can't really pick the notes. The only note that I can really pick is the vanilla because it's there from the beginning, but the rest I can't identify. So it reminds me a lot of fragrances like from Chanel, where you just can't pick up the notes in. It's definitely, again, a very classy fragrance that is signature worthy. It's non-offensive. It's one of these fragrances that is very difficult to hate, but do I love it? I have to admit, no. Maybe I will love it, but again, I will test it on my skin, especially that it's a fragrance that you can wear all year round, so I will test it in the coming days, and maybe I will fall in love with it. So that was Yves Saint Laurent Cinema. Now let's move to two fragrances that I bought recently from Milano. Both are from private collections. I did an unboxing of everything that I bought from Milano on my Instagram. So again, definitely follow me there. The first one is from Maison Lancôme, and this is Roses Berberanza. This is again a discontinued fragrance, so they are going to be discontinuing this one and also Parfum de Rose. I definitely prefer this one, although everybody loves Parfum de Rose. To me, it's too sweet. This is quite a unique rose. What mostly I smell here is a boozy touch, a boozy note, the rose and sweetness. But to my nose, I can't really say what is the sweetness is coming from. So it's kind of a gourmandish rose, if you know what I mean. It's definitely not everybody's cup of tea. So I think they are going to discontinue this one because it's not your typical rose. And it's not even your jammy rose. This boozy touch, this gourmandish note makes it really special, but a little bit challenging. In my opinion, it's not a fragrance that you will smell and you will immediately fall in love with. I tested this fragrance a lot of times and it took me a while to like it. I can't say that I absolutely love it. I like it and I highly appreciate it from an artistic point of view. It's one of the fragrances that also you have to wait for the dry down to really get, because the opening is a little bit strange and off-putting because the booziness is really predominant in the opening. In the dry down, it's a sweet gourmandy rose that is a little bit alluring. It's not too sweet. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's a beautiful fragrance that is very hard to describe. So that was Roses Berberanza. By the way, when it comes to longevity and sillage, it was very good, let's say. It's not, I wouldn't say it's amazing or like beast mode. It did last more than 6 hours. And projection, I would say a little bit more than moderate. So that was Roses Berberanza from Maison Lancôme. Next fragrance I am going to do a full review on is from Christian Dior, and this is a Vanilla Diorama. This is the latest release from the private collection from Christian Dior, or La Collection Privée, that is what it's called now. Again, a very unique fragrance. And this fragrance is vanilla infused with spicy notes, some moodiness. I definitely get the cardamom, and in the opening you get this boozy orange note. It's really unique. It's one of these fragrances that you have to play with. Not that it's a challenging fragrance, but it's one of these fragrances that grew on you. So the more you wear it, the more you like it. It's definitely a gourmand vanilla. It is created after like a dessert that Maxime did for Dior. So the inspiration is this dessert. So definitely a gourmand fragrance. So this is a Vanilla Diorama from Christian Dior. I will do again a dedicated video, so stay tuned. We are down now to my last two, and these are travel size fragrances from a very expensive niche brand, and this is Inle and Lalibela from Memo. So the first one I have here is Inle, and Inle is definitely one of my absolute favorite fragrances from this brand. And this is a beautiful, fresh Osmanthus tea. I did a review on all the florals from Memo Paris, including Inle. So check the description down below if you want to know all about it. Mainly, this is a very beautiful tea fragrance with Osmanthus, some floral notes, very fresh. It has this very sophisticated airiness to it. absolutely stunning. The Osmanthus here is more of an apricot feeling than a leather one. So if you see the bottle, you see it has these clouds on them, and definitely this is what I get. Very airy. It's like a cloud of tea and Osmanthus. It's beautiful. It's very dreamy. So that was Inle. Next one is Lalibela, and Lalibela is totally different. Again, a floral. So you will find it in the floral videos that I did on Memo. Lalibela is a very powerful rose. It's kind of a sweet rose. If you are from the Middle East or from Egypt, you will know sharbat. It's a very sweet drink that is made from rose. This is the rose here. You also get here the incense. It has an incensey vibe to it, and a woody touch. It's very complex, very powerful. It's inspired by the 12 churches of Lalibela in Ethiopia. And definitely, for some reason, I get this African churchy vibe in it. This is definitely a winter fragrance. Has an amazing longevity. One of my subscribers told me that this didn't last. This on my skin lasts a whole day, no problem. It's not exactly a beast mode when it comes to projection, but it does project all the time. So you have a steady projection, like almost for 6 hours and plus. So I don't know, on me, this is my experience. Definitely for someone who wants to make a statement, in my opinion. So that is a Lalibela from Memo. So that concludes my haul. Definitely these are not all the fragrances that I bought recently. As I said, I have quite a lot. Some will remain in their boxes for the next year, and some are niche fragrances that I want to do a dedicated review on. I also bought a lot of discovery sets. I mean, I went overboard, especially with discovery sets. Now I really have the intention to go on a low buy. I set myself to fail actually the previous time because it was just before the sales, so of course it was difficult to resist. Now that there are no sales, I will go on a low buy until Black Friday and the sales come again. So yeah, I hope I can stick to it. Anyway, that was it. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumb up, consider subscribing to my channel, and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!